Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Tech Motoring. Future Paul here with a quick announcement before we jump into the Tesla full self-driving video and my first experience with Tesla full self-driving. So the first thing I want to bring up is, well, the issues I was having with my equipment. So you might see some inconsistencies with the video and the audio at some points during these videos. I was having some weird issues. I shot the whole intro and the intro was completely blank as far as audio goes, so that's why this is now the intro to this video. So I apologize for that. Couple other things I wanted to go over, which is what I mentioned in the intro, was that this was a 2023 Tesla Model Y all-wheel drive, pretty much the standard Model Y you can get with Tesla full self-driving. I mentioned the version number while we're doing the test, so you can reference that version number of the full self-driving. This was my first time in a vehicle with full self-driving, so there's a lot of times that I am a bit nervous or I'm a bit hesitant about what the car is going to do next, and so I'm not yet comfortable to that point where I'm just going to let the car kind of do its thing and just roll with it, because number one, it wasn't my car, and it is my first time doing full self-driving, and I only had a couple hours with the vehicle, so I didn't have really enough time to spend with the full self-driving experience and to get on a lot of roads, or enough roads for me to really experience everything that it could do. So unfortunately to that, I was not able to experience as much time with it as I want, but I'm hoping that in the future, when some new iterations or releases of full self-driving beta or possibly the final version do come out, I can try to get the car back again and do the full self-driving videos. A couple other things I wanted to bring up were some of the camera angles. I know the back camera looking out the windshield was horrible placement, and I apologize for that. Once again, didn't have a lot of time, kind of threw it together real quick, threw a camera up there, and it wasn't until afterwards that I realized that pretty much the rear view camera, or the rear view mirror, was completely blocking most of the view out the windshield. I was trying to get the screen of the vehicle and as much of the windshield as possible, and unfortunately, I feel like I may have been able to do this a little bit better, so next time I will definitely try to improve the location of those cameras. Now, I do try to put as much content in there as I possibly can, so it might be a bit long at times, but it is pretty interesting, some of the encounters that I had with full self-driving during this process. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to kind of go over what you're going to see in the video, and that I understand that some things could have been done better. That's unfortunately the nature of the beast and the amount of time I had and what I kind of threw together. So without further ado, let's go into the full self-driving. We'll see what it's like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a destination here. Let's just put the let's just put like let's put the Lowe's right there. Let's do that one. So it's 9.5 miles away. We're going to see how this is on the way to that area, and then I got to shoot a video with the vehicle doing something else, and then we're going to do some full self-driving afterwards. So let's just see how it works from this perspective here. And now there's cars coming out of this random dirt road here. Oh, and cars coming from this direction too. Look at that. So
do we need to move?
Oh, sorry. And now they're pulling up next to me. What is going on here? So many people. Okay, so it looks like we're going to be just waiting for traffic to die down here before we start moving. So let's just go ahead and start moving here, and let's get out of everybody's way and start doing some full self-driving stuff. So we're on a road now. Let's go ahead and start it. Okay, here we go. So we're on a road now. It has no lines on either side, and it's doing a pretty good job of keeping us relatively, well, maybe a little bit in the middle of the road, but there's nobody coming at us, so there's really no threat as of right now. Probably, actually, this is probably how I would drive on this road. I wouldn't keep myself too far off to the right, especially if there's nobody coming. Could bump the speed up a little bit here. And so yeah, pretty interesting on a road that doesn't really have any lines. You can see here on the map that we do have some indicators that it's trying to build like a line in the middle of the road here. This is the first time I've seen the full self-driving image, basically, or how it looks. So really interesting.
We're on a rainbow road.
It's kind of like a rainbow. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Okay, so now we're coming up to a pretty gnarly turn here. It's like a 90-degree turn. And here comes some double yellow lines. It's approaching this turn nice and slow. It is going for the turn. And wow, okay, pretty impressive. Pretty impressive indeed, actually. That was good. All right, so we continue. So this is really cool. So another thing I want to bring up is this is 11.4.7. Here comes another sweeping right turn here. And it's taking this pretty good. I'm just holding the wheel. I'm not giving any input into the wheel other than the minimal necessary for it to know that I got my hands on the wheel. A little bit of a hole there that didn't quite see. So yeah, we're gonna keep going here. Pretty good. Getting passed by a motorcycle. Don't blame him. All right, cruising along here. We're hugging kind of the center of the lane again. So we're kind of in the back of the middle of the road here. And now there's a car coming, and I am going to disengage because I don't want to take a chance of a car coming at me and then all of a sudden it like slamming on its brakes. Okay, so that motorcycle's passing everybody. All right, so we're gonna put the full self-driving back on here. It puts us right back towards the center of the road. Now we're slowing down. Interesting. Okay, so now it's going again. Backed up to speed, and I'm looking on the map and it is appearing to take the proper route so far. So now we have a really hazy double yellow line in the middle, but it seems to have well, no, we're kind of creeping over it a little bit here. It's almost impossible to see though. Like I can't imagine the cameras are able to see this. Now we are right back in the middle of the road. So there is a very man, it's barely there, very faint yellow line, but it's kind of just keeping us in the center. Nobody coming the other way. We are coming up to the stop sign where we're gonna have to make a left, and it's now moving back to the right. That's good. Here comes the stop sign. It appears to see it. Left turn signal is on. It is making a really hard left. Okay, now it's centering itself out. Now it's going for the turn. Okay, that was really weird. It was almost as if it was making that hard left so the camera could see to the right side, down the right side. Okay, so now we're making a left onto this road here. Now this is really tricky. I am got to be ready for this because this is a divided highway. We're at a red light. It did that well. It's a divided highway with one of those really weird left, you going over the division and then you're merging onto a road. So let's see how this does. Oh I'm really curious.
I'm a little nervous.
I know, me too. So I gotta be ready. Okay, their light's turning red. Ours should turn green any second now. We have a car behind us. We are moving forward very slowly, but okay, now we're picking up some speed. It did that very well. It's putting us into the merge lane. We are in the merge lane. We have traffic coming, and I'm going to give it some acceleration here because traffic is not a friend. Okay, let's put it back on. All right, so still not used to this. I'm still nervous. I don't want to like just assume it's going to do the right thing here because that's probably the worst thing you could do. So we're just going to assume the worst, hope for the best. We're going to slow down here. I can't tell if that's a cop or a broken down van. You never know here. That is a broken down van. All right, so we're coming up to a green light. It knows we need to make a left. All right, it's getting way over to the left lane. That's not a bad thing, but I would have probably stayed in the right left turn lane, if you will. And now we're coming up to the light. Now this is a 2 left lane merge onto a highway. So now we are in the left of the 2 lanes, and it's got to make a pretty hard left here, and it is thinking, and it's doing, and it's still thinking. I'm not disengaging yet. Okay, not bad. All right, so now we have to get over to the right. So now it is going for a pass here. Be more assertive. Okay, we are off the yellow. Okay, I have to take over. It was not getting over. It was not getting over. Okay. I probably should have let that one go, but it's not my car. I don't want to destroy somebody's car. All right, now we're getting on the highway. We are in a merge lane. It is not. Yep, there it goes. Now it's merging. No turn signal. That wasn't great. All right, so now we are in the right lane. Ooh, we got a car broken down on the side here. It's going to just pass it. No slowing down, no nothing. I mean, most people would do that. It had its turn signal on for a second there and did nothing. And it came up with a message on the screen. I missed it. Okay, so going back to what I was saying before, we are on, let's see, it was full self-driving 11.4.7. Now keep in mind, this is still the beta. I know that at this point they've removed the beta off of their website when you buy a new car. Now it says full self-driving, which technically doesn't start till I think version 12. So this is version 11.4.7. So we are still in a beta phase with this particular vehicle. So really interesting to see that. We are now on the highway just cruising. So this is really easy. This is not much different than what autopilot would have to deal with. Obviously with full self-driving you do have the auto lane change, so it'll pass people if it finds that they're going slow. In fact, I think what we're going to do is we're going to roll up the speed a little bit just so we can try to catch up to somebody and see how it does that maneuver. All right, so not too bad for my first couple of minutes here. What do you think so far?
I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, me too.
Like I'm not sure how I feel about the car driving itself. It's
right.
Like a little freaky. Like my mind is having trouble wrapping my head around the idea of it driving by itself.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing when you're just lane centering down a road, like a highway. Okay, now it's saying changing lanes to stay out of the rightmost lane. Okay, so it's now got us into the middle lane, and I'm not sure why it would get us into the middle lane. We kind of got in front of a car. Not that we cut them off by any means, but like we got into the middle lane, and I don't know why.
I think it says 10%.
That's right. Okay, so we're gaining distance from the person behind us, so we're not hurting anybody at this point. We're just going to stay right here in the middle lane of 3 lanes on this highway. We got a little over 8 miles to get to our destination, and then we're going to try to do some more difficult stuff later to see how it does with that stuff. Right now we're just trying to get used to the system, see how it does. I think it did okay for the first little bit there. Couple weird things there with it hugging the middle of a 2-lane road. It took its time merging onto that divided highway area there. That was a little scary. There was a car coming up, and we were just kind of, and there was a car behind us trying to merge, and we were just kind of like da da da.
Like lollygagging.
Yeah. It's just not ideal. Okay, so now we're passing a vehicle on our right. So I am curious, does this have, let's see, so if I just put the right turn signal on, it turned it off. It's just like, no.
We're staying in the middle.
No, we're in the middle lane, let me drive. I know what I'm doing. Fine then. Alright, so that's it. That's all we're going to do now for...
Do it again. Put the turn signal on.
Let's get away from the exit here and then we'll... No, I think it's just assuming that because of our speed that we should be in the middle lane. So like now we're catching up to people in the middle lane. So the question is, it's getting to the left. Okay, so now it knew enough to pass on the left and not pass on the right. So it just did that lane change perfectly fine. Really impressive. So now we're coming up to these vehicles here. We are now passing them. See, these people should be in the right lane, but they're not. They're traveling in the center lane. Which would have been interesting, because if we were in the right lane, would it have passed them in the right lane? Or would it have tried to get over 2 lanes to pass them to get back over 2 lanes to the right? That's weird logic that you have to think of, that like humans, you know, humans that like kind of sit in the wrong lane on the highway, the way that they interpret their driving method is different than legally how you're supposed to drive, right?
You drive in the right, pass in the left.
Right, that's the logic. You drive in the right, you pass in the left. That's how it's supposed to work. You're not supposed to sit in the middle lane when there's nobody in the right lane. So now we're in the left lane, and we probably shouldn't be, because we're not driving that fast. So now that we're gaining some distance between us and those 2 vehicles that we've passed, we should be getting back over now. And I would say that at this point, I personally would feel comfortable getting back into the right lane. Now there is a car coming up behind us very gradually, and so I'm still kind of just waiting for this to be like, okay, we're indicating to go back over. There's a car coming over from behind us. There should be some sort of
indication.
Yeah, we should have an indication that we're getting over now, because we shouldn't be in the left lane anymore. Okay, so the car behind us has now just got over to the right lane, and we are still in the left lane. All right, so to prevent a traffic buildup, let's just go ahead and get over. And actually, I'm going to put us all the way into the right-hand lane. All right, so now we are over. Let's go ahead and throw this back on too. And now it wants to get back over to the middle lane again. I don't understand that logic. Why would we get into the middle lane? So I canceled it now. So I just said, no, don't do that. It's now still in full self-driving, but I've canceled the lane change. So we should be fine in the right-hand lane. There's hardly anybody on this road right now, let alone in this lane in front of us. So I could see if we were creeping up to a car, okay, let's get over now to get past it. But like, there's nobody within its view.
No.
See, now there's a car. No, cancel. Don't do that. Like, why? We got 3 or 4 minutes at least before we catch up to that car. Why should we put this person next to us in a situation when we're not even going to catch up?
To get back in the middle lane.
So here we go. So that car came from the left lane, moved to the middle lane. Now they have just passed us. The car that's been in the middle lane for the past few miles is now coming up on us. And then behind them is quite a bit. Now we have about 2 miles till our exit, and then we need to get off anyway. So will it try to pass this car in front of us? I mean, we're still not even really getting close to this car in front of us. I think overall the car feels really nice though.
Yeah, it's smooth. It's not jerky or anything. It's very confident.
Yeah, I like the Model Y in general though too. Like it doesn't feel quite as big as the Mach-E. I don't know. I think I got to get into that car and into this car in the same day and compare the two. Like, I really feel like I'm driving the Model 3 right now because of what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
But it's smoother riding because it's got the smaller wheel, and it's also got a little bit more suspension. So it's definitely a smoother driving vehicle than our Model 3, the Performance. But I do like it. It's a nice car. Alright, so we got about 3/4 of a mile. We're coming up on the exit that we're going to get off. Now, once again, this is really nothing weird for Tesla, especially if you have the enhanced autopilot that very much can do exits and stuff off of highways, so that's not really anything that should be different, but we're going to see how it acts in that sense right here. And we're coming up on the exit. The lane is just about to start for the exit. We are not indicating yet. We are now indicating, and there is some breakage. Woo!
Wow.
Okay, a little bit aggressive on that turn over there. Wow. Wow, that was a little bit aggressive. It like lane started and it was like whoosh. Like, I mean, it didn't even try to gradually move over. It was just, I'm there. Goodbye.
It's like I need to make a right. Here we go.
Yeah, yeah. Did you say right?
In 1,000 feet, turn right onto the Cloud Health Boulevard.
All right, so now actually, okay, so this is coming in this really, really weird entrance here. Let's see how it does. So we're in a merge lane. We got to merge over to the left. It is doing so now,
Onto the Cloud Health Boulevard.
but now it technically should be making this right, and it is without signaling.
In 500
But it made the
feet,
turn real
turn
well.
right and take the second
So we have a
exit.
circle. Here's a circle. This is going to be really interesting. So we have a circle. We have nobody behind us. It's slowing down, limiting max speed for road type. It's doing 17. It's got a turn signal on, entering the circle. Nobody around us, nobody in the circle. It's stopping at a yield. It is going through the circle. Oh, a little jerky there. Going around.
In 500
Will it
feet,
take the proper
turn left.
exit? It's going for it. Yeah, all right, not bad. All right, so it's coming up, and it should be indicating a left. Okay, good. And I'm going to cancel it here because we're not going here. All right, cool. Actually, I'm not as nervous as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Now turn left onto
I think it's harder sitting in the passenger seat, honestly.
I'm a little.
Yeah, I could definitely see it being more nervous in the passenger seat because you have no way of controlling the car. Me, at least I could take over when I know something weird's gonna happen.
I'm like holding on to like the dashboard and looking for.
Holding back the airbag. Okay, interesting. I like it. I think it did a pretty good job.
It was impressive.
It was actually.
It was
I
very
thought that was good. And I have no comparison here because I haven't been on any earlier versions of full self-driving. This is literally my first iteration. I've been in a car with enhanced autopilot. Look at this guy. He just went through an intersection in a right-hand lane. So, wow. Okay. And we're gonna go. Let's test the performance of the Model Y all-wheel drive. Ooh, pretty good. I gotta find a road where I can actually get on it a little bit more, but nice. All right, well, I think we're gonna call the video, well, the first part of the video there, and then we'll do some more experimenting later.
Oh boy.
So we'll come back to this. All right, see you in a little bit. All right, welcome back, everybody. Well, we have some fun in front of us here with our full self-driving testing today. So I just put in a destination. Actually, it's going to be close to my brother's house. We're going to go pick him up and see if he wants to go out on the road with some full self-driving. So I'm just in my garage right now, and we're just about ready to get on the road. So I'm pulled next to my car. Let's see if it'll take over from here. It is. Sorry, I had to disengage for a second there. It's going real wide on the cul-de-sac. That was real wide. Holy moly. Okay. All right. Well, you got to get wipers on here. Does he not have his wipers? They're on auto. Okay. So we are stopped at the stop sign, and we are making a right turn. We are signaling. There we go. Okay. Now we are heading down the road. So once again, going through a development that doesn't have a middle line. There's some cars parked on the left side of me right here. It's slowing down for really nice. Slowed down to about 16, 17 miles for the speed bump, which was noticeable. It was nice to see that. It's giving us a warning that it says full self-driving may be degraded due to the weather, which is really interesting how it knows it's raining outside because it sees the water on the windshield, so the wipers are going, so it knows that. So it's really interesting how it knows that. So now we're sort of in the middle of the road here. This is the thing I don't like really much, is when it hugs the center of a two-lane road, just because there's no lane lines. So now it's starting to move to the right. We have a car coming our direction. and it seems to be doing a pretty good job of making this turn. We are coming to a very, very long stop. We do not have a stop sign, everybody. All right, so we've made the turn. Nobody coming the other way. We are heading around this. We're like in the middle of the road again. It's not great. I bet you if a car hears speed bump, speed bump, speed bump.
In 500 feet,
We
turn
hit
right
about
onto
17,
Willow
18
Bend
that
Drive.
time. Back in the middle of the road. Wipers are going. This is a really crazy turn. I hope it stays to the right. And it is. And
Now
really
turn
good.
right onto Willow Bend Drive.
Speed bump about 17 miles an hour. I guess that's kind of what its normal thing. Stop sign, right hand turn, turn signals on. We are stopping, complete stop, making a right. We have a car coming at us and a car parked in the road, and we are doing that very well. Wow. It negotiated the car parked on the road and the car coming at us. Granted, it was on their side, so they should have yield to us anyway, but still. We are now
In 500 feet, turn right onto
coming up
Carolina
to, this
First
is a really
Boulevard.
bad speed bump here. Really bad speed bump. It hit about the same as all the other ones. So now we are coming up to the main road here. So now we're merging onto a 45 mile an hour road. We have a car in front of us that's going straight, maybe. I'm not really sure. Yes, they are. We are at a stop sign about to make a right. There are cars coming. We are creeping up. We are creeping up too much. Nope, I am not liking that. Okay, let's try this again. There was a car coming. I did not like it. Let's actually just get ourselves onto the road here. All right, back to full self-driving. Sorry, once again, still not 100% comfortable with the system. I'm sure if I spent a few more hours with it, I would be a lot more comfortable. It thinks this is a 35, oh no, it just changed now. It thinks that that's a 30 mile an hour zone back there, which it is not. My car does that as well with the autopilot. It's a little annoying. You have to wait till you get to like this area before it goes up to 45. Coming to a red light, just like autopilot would. Really cool to see the intersection in the full self-driving animation here. Really kind of cool to see. I love how it gives you the intention of the vehicle as well. Like it tells you what the vehicle's intending to do. So that's kind of nice. The lane lines that it draws out are really impressive. All right, negotiating the turn okay. We're gonna bump up the speed just a little bit. Nothing unsafe, but just to keep up with traffic. It's taking this turn perfectly fine, just like autopilot. Nothing really there. It wants to change lanes for some reason. I disagree with that choice. There's no reason to, because the car in front of us is now moving away from us. And it lowered its speed again, which is annoying. And now we have traffic coming up on us. So there was no reason for it to change lanes. It could have stayed in the right-hand lane and been perfectly fine. Now we are coming up on this car now that's in the right lane. So we are making a really slow pass right now. The cars behind us are keeping a distance though, so at least I don't have anybody right on top of me. So I'm perfectly comfortable just doing this. The weather is poor outside anyway. We're not supposed to be driving fast as it is, so. Right, so we are just kind of cruising here in the left lane. It's not making any intentions of changing. The cars behind us are kind of creeping up on us. I'm no longer catching up to the car that we were catching up on. Ideally, I should be getting over right now, so we're not blocking a lane, and I think I am going to do so. Okay, let's go ahead. I'm going to just speed up a little bit, and then I think I'm going to
In
just...
1 mile, turn right onto Stony Falls Boulevard.
Well, you know what? I think we're okay. Let's just stay here. It does need to get into the right lane though. So I'm trying to just keep it. Okay, now it's getting back to the right lane. Right before a light, but it made the lane change before we went through the intersection, so that was good. So we are now behind this car again, and we are cruising. We have a little bit of a right-hand turn here, and then once we get around this right-hand, oh, it's in the wrong turn lane right now. Nope. Okay, so we are not impressed with that. So it got into the wrong turn lane is what happened there. So it made a turn before the turn where it was supposed to turn. If that makes sense. All right, so that was a little bit weird, especially with a lot of cars behind us. I just wanted to take over there because it was putting a lot of speed on us as we were coming into that right-hand only turn lane. So, all right, so let's go ahead and get back on the road. Yeah, I really wish we didn't have this rain right now. I really wish we could see this in good conditions just so we had a decent baseline. So now we're supposed to make this right. We're supposed to make this right. We are getting over. We are not signaling. We are in the right lane. We are now signaling. And we are turning. And we are turning real wide, but still okay. All right, not that bad. All right, so now we are cruising through a development. So now we have a divided entrance here. So we actually have the turn, the opposite direction traffic on the opposite side of this median. So we are actually in our own one lane going in this direction, but it's like an extra wide lane. And it's kind of like, it meandered a little bit at first. Like it was like, oh, let's go stay to the right, then we're gonna stay to the left. Okay, now it's at a stop sign, it's looking, and now it's waiting, and we have a car behind us. All right, we're gonna go because my patience is... All right, so we are moving forward. It's kind of meandering to the right now, a little weird. Coming back to a stop sign. We're gonna have a car right on top of us again because people don't like to do full stops here. And proceeding through the intersection. Nope, hesitating. Okay, now we're going. All right, a little weird. It hesitated a little bit there. Okay. Kind of chilling in the middle of the road. I'm going to take over for a second there. So once again, weird situation where it likes to hug the center of the road because there's no lines. That is...
Turn right onto Scenic Ridge Drive.
I'm going to end that trip there. That is just a little bit annoying, honestly. I really wish it knew that if it's an extra wide lane, and that it knew that it was a multi-direction lane. I really wish it would actually try to stay more to the right. Like it should just know logically to stay to the right more than the middle of a road, even if there's no lane lines there. So anyway, we're here. See if my brother wants to go for a ride, and we'll go from there and see how it goes. Turn has been accomplished. Yeah.
See if it stops for the stop sign.
Yep, coming up to a stop sign. Still raining outside, still miserable, still giving us the warning that there is poor weather. Full stop at the stop sign, crawling through the intersection. A little hesitation, but not bad. All right, so now we're coming up here. We got some cars coming the opposite direction. It is staying to the right this time. It's not hugging the middle like we were seeing before. But I bet you now that the cars have passed, it's gonna start moving itself. Ooh, we got emergency personnel. We are just gonna take over and slow down for the emergency personnel here.
Oh yeah, we got something happening.
Oh, well, always some excitement in here, that's for sure. Just get out of their way. All right, so we just enable it again. So we're stopping for a stop sign. Same intersections that we saw before. So it's crawling through the intersection. It's checking the sides. It sees that everything's good, and now it's rolling forward. All right.
It drives like you would drive.
Kinda.
Crawl up and then a little bit creep up a little bit more, and then you could look as you start to accelerate.
Yeah, I mean, ideally that's how you're supposed to do stop signs, right? You're supposed to stop at the white line before the stop sign, and then
There's your stop.
yeah, there's the stop. Then you're supposed to creep up.
Slow
But the thing is, at this point, people will be honking at you in the normal daily. So like, this is kind of a slow intersection for most people. But it's being cautious too. Now we can change this to assertive, which I might actually do. Let's change this to assertive. So now it should be a little bit more aggressive about its decision. So right now we're coming up to this left turn, right turn. There's a light here. It should be in the right-hand lane making the turn. It's slowing down quite a bit before. It is way over the, way confused.
Little adjustment there.
A little adjusted. I'm sure you saw our heads bob. So now we are sitting back before the crosswalk. It's creeping up to the red light. We have traffic coming. It's going. It's being assertive. It is being assertive. Okay. All right. Not
Okay.
bad.
That was good. Not bad.
It didn't cut anybody off.
Yeah, plenty of room.
We have plenty of room.
Good.
Okay, so that's not bad. It was definitely being assertive there.
Stick it to the speed limit.
Yep, now we can adjust the speed limit. So we could go a couple miles an hour above if we'd like. Doing this all fine. This is like a normal daily commute for me anyway, so it does this road usually pretty well. So actually I am curious. Let's go in here instead. So we're going to go somewhere else instead. We're going to see how it handles a turn here. And then when we're going to come out and make a left across the light. See how it handles that.
In 1,000 feet, turn right onto Heavy Freeway.
Make sure we input some steering into it so it knows we're still here. And now the turn is coming up. No indicator yet. It's indicating, it's moving over, slowing down. It is hesitating. Okay, now it's making the turn. All right, there we go.
Very good.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. All right, so now it's going to be navigating the community here. Did that little shift pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing that's weird, is like it kind of meanders a little bit when it has no center lane line. Yeah. I mean, now it's staying a little bit to the right. That's proper.
In 500 feet, your destination will be on the right.
So let's just add some waypoints here. Whoa!
Oh, man. I think it was a goose.
That was just random. Like, I mean, it had no reason to go look at that. So the rain might have something to do with that, but that's not an excuse, you know. It really needs to know that there's no reason to hit the wheel that hard.
In 500 feet, your destination will be on the left.
All right, cool. So we'll see what it does at the end of a waypoint here.
Destination is on the left.
So it thinks we're at our destination, which is basically where, and that's it. So now it's
There.
It's there. All right, so let's end trip. Got nobody behind us. Oh, it's just deciding it's gonna go. Okay, cool. It's just going.
We're going.
We're going. I don't know where it's going. We
Where
have
the Tesla takes us.
Dude, we have nothing in the navigation. We have nothing in the navigation right now. This is literally the car just... Where is it going? It's making a left. It's just...
That was very nice left.
Yeah, that was a good left, right?
Where are we going?
I have no idea. There's literally nothing in the navigation.
Where are we going, car?
We have nothing in the navigation, and yet the car is just... Alright, so we got a car parked in the street here. Let's see how it handles this. Ooh, a little hesitation. Okay, did alright. It's making a right at the stop sign here. Once again, have no idea where we're going. I think we should just let it do its thing. Let's just see what it's doing.
Let's see where it takes us.
It has no reason to go anywhere right now.
We're coming back out where we came in.
Right, we're going back out.
Is it taking us to the location you had before this?
I mean, perhaps, but the weird
It's
thing
not
is we
mapped
don't
out.
have it on the navigation.
Is it taking us back home? Where we started?
I mean,
Let's find out.
alright, we got... Yeah. At least it sticks to the right when there's a car coming the other way. At least... Okay, now it's making a right, but we're still in the development here. And it sees that car going around it. Very nice. I mean, we're just going in circles at this point.
Yep, is it taking us in a big circle?
It's a big circle, yeah. Okay, it's slowing down, is it?
Oh, looks like there's an end.
Okay, now it says complete. That's weird because we never put that in our autopilot. Okay, let's just pull over here and put something in our navigation. Okay, there we go. So let's go ahead and okay,
There you go. Okay.
All right, let's let it do its thing.
Take us around. Okay.
Yep. All right, merging back in.
Go around these cul-de-sac.
Oh yeah, so we're at a dead end right now. Okay, so this is interesting.
Turn left onto Camden Drive.
All right, we're gonna get ready for it because we have no idea how it's gonna.
Yep. Let's see what it does.
It shows on the screen that it needs to do some sort of weird turn. It's not moving right now.
It doesn't like cul-de-sacs.
It doesn't like cul-de-sacs. Let's give it a little input here on the pedal.
Okay.
Yep. Let's just see. Okay. Okay. Now it's going.
All right. Okay. Okay.
All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. I'm hovering above the brake pedal.
No mailboxes. Please.
No mailboxes today. Yeah. Okay.
Hey.
All right. Not bad. Definitely froze up for a minute there.
Left onto Camden Drive.
All right, so we're making a left at a stop sign here, so it should be watching traffic. Oh yeah, they got a little plug-in.
That Grand Cherokee.
Yeah, 4xe probably. Okay. Sometimes it does a really good job of staying off to the right. Other times it's just like in the middle of the road.
In 500 feet, turn right onto Covington Drive.
I wonder if the puddles on the side of the road have something to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's all dependent on how
Picking
that...
up the puddles, moving it over to the left a little more.
Right onto Covington Drive.
It could be. The way the cameras are picking up everything is interesting. All right, so stop sign, making a right. No cars coming. Looks like it's doing that perfectly fine.
Right. Nice.
So
Very
now
good.
we are heading up to an unprotected left turn. all right, here we go. Here we go. Traffic on the left is pretty clear. Right is pretty clear.
Clear now. We're good.
It's hesitating.
You can do it.
That's good.
Go Tesla.
All right.
Hey.
Okay. That was pretty easy
that was
though.
too easy,
That was too easy. I did. Usually this road's not that dead, so that was really weird. All right.
Okay.
All right. So now it's just chilling in the left lane. We were seeing this a lot before too, where like it just tends to like the left lane.
I was wondering what lane it prefers.
Yeah, even though it, like there's no reason for it not to be in the right lane, like it would just kind of move. Even on like 31 where there was 3 lanes wide, it would sit in the middle lane,
Okay.
even though the right lane was completely open. So that was a little weird. Oh, they're getting soaked out in the rain today, aren't they? All right, about a half. Whoa! Okay, so it's hesitating again. It's hesitating.
I hope there's no cops behind us.
Yep. We have some hard braking happening here. We got a car behind us, but they're a good distance away. So it hesitated in a turn lane again. It thought that was the turn lane, and it wasn't. So now we're coming up to the turn lane,
There we go.
and it is now merging into that turn lane. We have a lot of oncoming traffic. A little bit hard on the braking there. All right, so it is looking at traffic. We got a car coming out of this development, but they're going right, so there shouldn't be an issue here. Oh.
Not yet. Oh.
All right, so we got a gap. Is it gonna go for it? Is it gonna shoot the gap? Is it gonna shoot the gap?
Yes, it is.
We are shooting the gap. Okay,
We're good.
not bad. Most people would be a little bit more aggressive about trying to make that happen, but it had plenty of time.
In 500 feet, turn left.
All right, pretty good.
It did its job.
Not bad, not bad. Okay, so I'm curious about one more. Nobody behind us. All right, let's give this a second. All right, so you're fine. Just go. All right, so we got a waypoint in. We're gonna finish up this drive.
Stop sign coming up.
Yeah. It sees it. Sees the line. Ooh, hit the brakes there.
Nice.
Full stop. Rolling through. All right, perfectly fine. This is pretty impressive how it sees speed bumps too.
Doesn't pick them up on the screen now. Look at that.
Yeah,
You
but
think
it
maybe
does.
Some kind of
It does notice them because it slows down for them. Looks like we got some people in the middle of the road here.
playing ball.
Playing ball in the middle of the road in downpours. We are slowing down a little bit for them. That's kind of nice to see.
500 feet, turn left onto Stanley Falls.
Another speed bump.
It's gonna slow down. Okay.
It slowed down, but a little bit more aggressive than it usually is.
Now turn left onto Stanley Falls Boulevard.
Okay, so now we are coming up to a stop sign and we have to make a left. This is a 4-way stop intersection, and this is the divided area, which is really weird. All right, so we are going. This guy's gonna get mad at us. Oh, we are so going. We just gotta hit the. I gave it a little throttle. I just tapped it to give it a little bit of confidence in that. All right, well, that was fun. My brother there was really impressed with it. Unfortunately, you didn't have any views going this way because that camera for some reason didn't turn on or something. I don't know. It was really weird. I must have forgot to hit the button, and unfortunately didn't record much of our reactions. But anyway, yeah, pretty good so far. But yeah, so now we're gonna go head back home, and then I gotta go head back and pick up my car. So this was a fun time with this vehicle today, and playing around with some full self-driving and stop sign. Oh, all right, we're gonna go. I confused it a little bit there. All right, but yeah, so a lot of fun driving the car, trying out full self-driving for the first time. I think it still has a long way to go. Now, of course, version 12 is supposedly going to be the version that fixes all the problems and doesn't give us the issues that we're kind of seeing here today. And I'll be really curious when version 12 comes out, if it is as good as they say it is, because that would be really, really interesting to see. But we don't have it yet, so we can't tell. We can't see until it actually happens. But overall, I gotta say, it is pretty impressive. It seems to handle most situations with ease. Like intersections like this, these four-way intersections where everybody stops and it's just sitting here and hesitating. See, like hesitating. Now it's going through the intersection slowly. Like things like that can be really kind of nerve-wracking for people who are trying to, like, you know, potentially getting pushed by other cars. So I'm not a big fan of that per se. I mean, I wish it had a little bit more assertiveness. Even though I've put it on assertive now, it still seems to hesitate quite a bit in these intersections. It's rolling up. Now we're in the middle of the intersection and it's still rolling. Like, it really needs to start moving at a decent rate at that point. But it struggles a little bit with that. So we're coming up to the street light here. It needs to make a left at this light up here. So before it really hesitated here, really terribly hesitated, and it's sort of doing it again. I'm gonna take over for a little bit. Alright, so we are going to put it back into full self-driving. We're just on a pretty standard straight road here, nothing fancy. Same one we did before, but just going in the opposite direction. Car coming up on our left here is passing us. Now I'm curious to see if it's gonna just get into the left lane again. Brakes a little bit there. That was a little weird. Alright, made it through an amber light. I really wish it wasn't raining so hard right now. It's really annoying. Okay, so we are coming up onto a vehicle here. Let's see if it makes the decision to try to go around them. There it is. Okay. So almost about the time that I thought to myself, hey, I probably should get around this car, the Tesla did start doing it. Made the change before the intersection, so that was good to see. Alright, so in a little bit here, we are going to be making a left into a development. Now this left is really really difficult if there's a car in front of you trying to make a left going the opposite way, because it's very hard to see. It's very much a blind spot. And also the left lane is a bit tricky as well, because it's as you're coming around a turn, you have to get into the turn lane, which is a little weird. Alright, so coming up to a little bit of traffic here at this light that just turned green. That feels really good. I feel like that is better than just autopilot. Like, I feel like when I'm coming in there on autopilot, it's not as smooth as that. I feel like it kind of waits a little bit too late and then it applies brakes. Alright, I don't know how comfortable I'm going to feel about this, so we'll see here. But it's got to get into this left lane now. Alright, it sees it. It's merging to the left lane. It is in the left lane, and there's no cars coming. So not much of a challenge for it. Alright, well that was easy. It made the left turn really nice. We are now just cruising into the middle of the road as we hit the speed bump.
Now turn left onto Dragonfly Drive.
Alright, and that was it. That was the end of our navigation there. So yeah, pretty impressive. So yeah, I got some time today with this. Really interesting to see. Really interesting to kind of like, it's just weird, right? It's just really, really weird, the sensation you get for having somebody drive a car. And it feels like, you know, it's kind of how I always explained autopilot to someone who's never experienced it. It's like, it's as if you're a passenger to someone who's just getting their permit or their license. You know, they're new to a car, they're hesitant about things, they might be go a little too fast here, a little too slow there, maybe they make some quick movements when they shouldn't have. Like, that's kind of how I describe that. And I can definitely describe this, because it's making all those extra movements, and while it's making all those extra movements, it's kind of like a, whoa, hey, whoa, hey, you know, you get thrown around a little bit in the car, and that definitely can be a little unnerving. So, but yeah, wow, okay. I think it's pretty impressive. I think it's really good. I definitely don't think this is full self-driving. I mean, it made quite a few mistakes today in the short time that I've had it. And we're talking in areas that have very explicit, like, this is a turn lane. And it got into turn lanes before it should have gotten into turn lanes. And so it definitely needs some more help when it comes to knowing where things start and where things end. You know, why is it that when it's coming up to a light, does it do that really quick jostling back and forth for a second? Like, things like that. Like, why is it doing that? Like, it's confused about what it needs to do in the situation, and it's trying to do two different things at once. And I think that's what's causing a lot of that, you know, confusion with the vehicle. So, I mean, overall, I gotta say, I think it's pretty good, but definitely needs some work. I'm really interested to see what version 12 is, though. When version 12 comes out, I'm going to have to borrow this car again. I'm going to have to take a look at that and see how much more it is improved. And actually, like, this is a perfect reason why camera only is not great, because I can barely see out the rear camera right now. So with not being able to see out the rear camera, I mean, how does the car know what's out the rear camera? Like, that's kind of a problem, right? And it says right here, park assist is degraded. I mean, that's just, yeah. I mean, full self-driving has to drive regardless of the conditions, in my opinion. So yeah, that definitely needs some work. But anyway, I hope you sort of enjoyed this video. Like I said, it was kind of a long one, but I definitely think this was interesting for my first time. I know there was a lot of parts that I probably shouldn't have taken over, and I did. And I know there were some parts where I probably shouldn't have helped the car, but I did anyway. But yeah, that's just, I'm not used to it yet. Once I get a buildup of, you know, tolerance to this, I think it'll be a lot easier to understand and accept what it's trying to do in the moment. But anyway, for now, that's all I have for you today. I hope you liked it. Hit the thumbs up if you did. And of course, I will try to revisit this one more time when version 12 comes out, and we'll see how much better it does. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Check us out on all our social media, links down in the description below. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. All right, everybody. Thanks very much. We'll see you on the next one. And remember, welcome to the future. Welcome to Tech Motoring. We'll see you soon.